In the Portland region, Metro is projecting another 1 million people will move to the metropolitan area by 2040. Within Portland Public Schools, that means within the next decade, another 5,000 or so students. There was a declining enrollment throughout the 90s, and just recently in the past decade, enrollment has begun increasing again, which provides more resources to the schools because money follows children. However, that's also stressing our district because the buildings that we have just aren't in the right place or of the appropriate size for the way the growth is happening.
One of the big things we have learned through the early steps of the boundary review process is really acknowledging just how fast our city is going to grow. We're focusing on balancing the system to ensure that every kid, regardless of what part of Portland you live in, has access to a strong education and they can be successful in great schools in every part of their neighborhood in the city. As we are trying to offer 21st century programs for our children in buildings that were designed in the 20th century, so it's time for our facilities to catch up with our needs and our children's potential.
We know that already within Portland Public there are certain places where there aren't enough classrooms for the programming that's happening in that school, and that puts a lot of pressure on both kids and teachers in terms of trying to deliver quality classes and trying to learn.
The number of students that we have at Chapman far exceed the number of students that would be best served at Chapman. We're pushing 700 students. We should have a number that's closer to 5 or 550, so every single available space is used. We now have 2 lunch periods where kids are actually in the cafeteria. We were able to move from 3 to 2 by having the highest grades, 4th and 5th, eat in their classrooms.
It's a transitioning neighborhood. We do a pretty good job of putting together some arts experiences for our kids, but with a more full enrollment, we would be able to offer a wide variety and a much more choice for our kids. I think it's the smallest catchment area in the district. Both Mandarin immersion program and an IB program are equity drivers and are really high quality educational programs to meet the academic needs of our kids and all kids. I think it's also they're really important programs for maintaining the families in our neighborhood. Without those here, we wouldn't be able to compete with the special programs that are in other schools, and becomes a competition. Whereas I think if we could right-size the boundaries for each school and offer a variety of choices without it being an either-or option, then everybody wins at that point.
If we put it off, the areas in the city where we have overcrowded classrooms, those are only going to continue and be exacerbated.
If you choose to do nothing, then the decision makes you instead of you making the decision.
So when this process is all done, I'm really hoping that parents and teachers and the community will feel like they've been heard, will feel like it's been transparent and open, that we have really done a rigorous analysis and come to conclusions that are fair and that are student-centered.